Okay, so resin's set up a bit now. It looks like it's plenty dry enough to be able to get some fairing compound on. So I was speaking to the guys down at CYB Fiberglass on Canvey. Fantastic in there they are. They look after me. And they've had a look into the fairing compound that I can't get hold of. And it seems they can't get hold of it either. It looks like no one's got it in stock anywhere. So, I'm not going to be able to get a tub of it. God knows how long. I don't know why. Don't know what the shortage is, where the shortage is from, you know, how it works. No idea. But I can't get it. So that's the end of that. So I'm going to start using the bonding paste for areas where I can, and I've got some talc that I can mix up as well. So that's going to be the way forward. Until that comes back in stock, there's not really a lot I can do. But this is set up now, it's tacky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some of this bonding paste as a fairing compound. Spread that over it, and that's me done on that for the day. So all this up here is set up now as well. So I want to just get this covered. I've got a tiny bit of my fairing compound left, but not a lot. So what I'll do is I'll hit it once with this, and if I've got any little low spots that need take care of after I've sanded it, I'll see about skimming over it with that afterwards. Yeah, I'm not seeing enough colour change there. Slightly bigger batch. Needs a little bit more catalyst. I like to mix in a little bit, check it and see how it's going. Have a look at it, see what the colour's like. See if it's changing. Then add a bit more. If you just put too much catalyst on to start with, it just all runs off the sides and it's very hard to incorporate into the resin. So I'll just put a bit on, mix it in, check it, add a little bit more if needed. You can always add a little bit more if you need it, you can't take it out. So if you overdo it from the start, you know, the only thing you can do is add more product to thin out the amount of catalyst you've got. Or watch it set up like concrete very quickly. Alright, so that's mixed up. I best get some gloves on because I'm bound to make a mess, and just move the camera around. Yeah, it's got a slight tack to it still, so good enough. It's pretty well set. I don't think it's going to cause me any problems with it moving today. Not on the last lot. I'm going to go right back over those drips. Now, just to make sure there's no gaps there that needed filling. All that's got to be sanded, but I'll sand out all those drips. But I just want to make sure that when I do sand it, there's no pits and holes there. I'd rather put a bit too much up and sand it off than not enough and find I've got to re-fair it again, you know, and again and again and again. I want to get as much up there and get it covered as possible. You know, I don't want it too thick, but I want to know that I've covered it. It's this edge here that's got to be the issue. That's where that big build up of resin is. Just get a slimy mess up there. Slap it up and then scrape it off. On the corner, on the edge there, run it round. So most of this will be sanded off. Don't need to look pretty. It's just to fill in the weave of the glass, so when I sand it down I'm not sanding all the glass away that I've just put on there. That's it. If I don't fair it, I'm sanding the fiberglass away. And that's the strength that I've just spent all my time putting up there. So it seems silly to sand it all away, basically. In my mind, I can't see the point of putting the glass up there to sand it all off again. If that makes sense. There we go. Beautiful. I'll have to mix up a little bit more. We've got enough to go around the face here, but not the whole of the underneath. Used a bit more than anticipated. I don't need to do any on this surface. That doesn't matter at all. When I put the hatch in, it's going to be cut out on most of it, so pointless fairing it. I need to go into that edge. Scrape most of it off. So most of it will go. Be sanded away. I don't want to sand all the glass back. So. Oh, nearly. So I'm fully anticipating that when I sand this back, there will be a few little low spots that I will need to fill. Because I know I'm quite fussy. And when I've finished it, if it doesn't look quite right, I will want to fill those low spots. That's just the way I am. Right, so we've run out there. Let's get that last bit up there. Mix up a little bit more. I'll be careful not to get any catalysed product back in the tub. Go with that. I don't want to go too much. It's expensive stuff. I don't want to waste it. So watch the colour change and you'll know if it's enough. There you go, it's going from blue to grey. So I know I've got enough resin, enough catalyst in the resin product there. So all polyester based products I'm using. So everything's compatible to everything else. You know, I'm not doing any major structural repairs below the waterline or anything like that that's going to require an epoxy. So I'm trying to keep everything to a polyester base, purely for cost, if anything. You know, cost and ease of use. I know if I use any polyester base, I can gel coat, fairing, compound, painting, whatever I'm going to do, I can use any polyester based product with it. If I go to epoxy, I can no longer use this. I can no longer use gel coat, you know. I can't use any of those methods once I use epoxy. So now I'm stuck using epoxy based products which are very costly. So for my projects, that's just not an option. I can't afford to do everything in epoxy. And then right up to the top there, squidging it into the top. So that I know I've got a good coating right up to there, but I'm not doing that surface. Doesn't need it. No need at all. There might be a little bit of overspill onto it, but that's it. I'm not actually going to fair it up. Move that into the corner, make it easy to sand. That's the job done. Bit underneath. Whack that up there. Running out now. A bit of glass, we don't want that. Look, that's one of the loose hairs, that straggly bits that's come off. Get that up there. Spread it out. If this runs out, I'm just going to call it done. It's, I think I've got enough to just do this. I'm not going to mix up any more now because it'll be too small an amount to worry about. Now hopefully I can just about cover this lot. Once I've sanded it back and I have to mix up, which I will have to, mix up another batch to do any other little areas, then I'll fill in any spots that got missed. Rather than mixing up more just to go over it now. I think we're just going to do it. Yes. So that was tight. So I'm going to taper that off to there so I can try and blend that in under here and lose it into that edge. So hopefully you can't see an edge to this. That's the plan. Bobble of resin there, it's all set up so they'll sand off afterwards. Got that up there. Look. Beautiful. Right. That's about done really. I can't do any more. So what I can do now is let that set up. And I can come back later and do some sanding. That's starting to cheese that bit. So this newer batch is still really soft. This bit here is starting to set slightly, not fully, but it's tacking off. I'm going to leave that alone before I mess it up. But that's looking pretty good. Right, that's me done. So, there we go. Managed to do that. Used all of that. No waste. No mess, no fuss. We are done. Right, let's get out of here. Right, there we go. So we faired up that side. Underneath and on the top. Same all the way around there and all the way down there. Can't do any more. This lot is all dry. I could start saying that, but I'm going to take my kid out instead. Go have some fun. Oh, look, there's a bit I missed. Didn't fair that bit. There'll be more fairing to do. We'll come back to that. Not the end of the world if I was to just paint it. It's just a tiny little low spot there. Right. That's me done. Not going to get anything else done today, so we'll leave that to set up and I'll sand it all next time I'm down. Might get down on Sunday morning if I get time. If not, it'll be next Tuesday. But for now, thank you for watching Life of Dave, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye for now.